So we recently watched Aavesham and we really loved it. Both of us are big fans of Fahadh Faasil. So this is a new format we are trying. We'll react on the full interview. We did not watch the interview. This is the first time we are watching it. So do let us know if we should do more videos.
Plus, thank you for limping your way here. Your leg is not okay.
Yeah, that's
You slipped and fell and
I'll manage.
You can remove the subtitle.
It's
I
okay.
don't like giving interviews. It's not that I don't like. It's just that I don't know what to talk. It's because I don't talk. I make films. You know,
I don't talk, I make
That's
films.
the easiest way for me to communicate to the
when you're
audience.
at home with your wife,
Huh?
you talk.
No, we don't have to talk cinema, right? Interview, I only have to talk about cinema, and there's nothing much I talk about cinema. I'd like to do cinema than talk about it.
Aren't there people that your friends like Amal or Sham or somebody like that, where you say, "Oh, I saw this great movie. This is what this thing."
It's the thing. I never talk about cinema to these people. I
You never
talk.
talk.
I talk my
You and
personal
Sham
stuff.
Pushkar run a studio.
We never talk cinema. We never talk cinema. Like I go to him. He tells me about something he read somewhere. He tells me about someone he met somewhere, or he tells me about a story that one
He's
of
so
the
cool
director friends
and
told
calm.
someone. So it's never about you see that film. Can we do something like that? Not single time I've had a conversation like that. And to be honest, Girish Podan doesn't watch any films other than his films. So for me, okay, with Amal, we do talk a lot about cinema because he's an encyclopedia. You go and ask him, Cheta, which was that film,
Cheta.
that came out in the 80s, and he'll easily give you that. So my prep or my my interactions with the close circle are never about cinema. It's more about life, and it's about what I see out of my window.
So you're
That's
saying
good.
that it would be
Career
easier
and
to
life
listen to
different.
you if I would ask you about
It'll be
how's
easier for me.
Nazria, how's she at home?
Okay.
Yeah,
All that's good, but if you ask me about Aavesham, I'll say it's easier for me to show you the film than talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about Aavesham.
Yeah.
So
Let the work do the talking.
I can talk how much we want.
Yeah, but this is unfortunately not that kind of interview.
I know.
Yeah, so, but I hope she's good.
Karan Johar. Dig it, Karan Johar.
Rich
you know,
producer.
Yeah.
Rich producer, I'm saying.
Yeah. I was just looking at your filmography and I realized that your last few films, you haven't had like a heroine.
Oh yeah.
Joji.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he deliberately
Malaya.
choosing films where...
That-
My director.
Yeah.
So someone asked
That
Jitu,
flood
how
film.
come there's no
Malaya
heroine in
Kunju.
Aavesham?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he immediately said there was no heroine in Romancam as well.
Yeah.
That's when he realized, oh my
Romancam.
god, I don't have any,
Yeah, because even Nazria's role in Trance,
Yeah.
there are glimpses of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's actually no, like, the man-woman
Ah.
thing that never happens for you in your movies.
I'm going to look at it.
I'm going to look at it after.
So I've done only what excited me. There was no plan, or there was no intention to such kind of films. Right.
That is how it should be.
Right. But yeah, I want to explore more with the man.
Yeah, because even in Pacho, which is the film that I really liked, it's more about cheating and this and that.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
not like a conventional.
I know.
I really liked that movie.
Every time I think about doing a love story, the taste is also a factor, right? So I want to do something which is today's Maunaragam or something like that, right? It's not easy. I mean, the world's changed so much. It's not easy to
Yeah.
give your take on a marriage that easily now, right? So I want to discuss something, but it's too early to. say.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of at one point there was something like Anil Vasulum,
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
But like for the longest time,
Yeah.
you bring either a
No,
married person,
love
like
to do a
Bharat-
revolutionary road. I dream to do.
That's a great film.
Revolutionary Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no one calls me there.
With Aavesham, who dreamt up this reintroducing Fahadh Faasil thing?
Oh, Fafa.
I think everyone. I think primarily the discussion started from Jitu only. I think Jitu and Nazria started talking about it. We never thought of having that as a on the titles or anything, but eventually everyone who started seeing the film somehow were excited about seeing a new me, or so then eventually everyone decided, okay, fine, let's just reintroduce him. And I was not giving any promotions or anything, so they wanted something to push the film. Yeah. So
But why reintroduce? Is it because a Fahadh Faasil zone is usually something else? And
It's more serious
you're
role.
pushing yourself into a new zone. Was that the thought behind the whole thing?
that's one. I've never approached a film like this. I've never been worried if audience would like a moment or is the moment massy enough. For me, it was all about, okay, let's stay within the cinema and decide. Let's just stay within the narrative and take a call. But with Aavesham, I've let that doors open and explore. Let's just go one tad. So with Aavesham, the attempt was always that to just go a little above my usual,
Zone.
What do you call it? Boundaries or whatever. Yeah. And
Comfort zone.
Aavesham is actually written for the audience in the sense that the film is actually moving with the audience than with the character or
I think you should remove this.
any of the other factors. Right? So I've not approached anything like that earlier. For me, it was I wanted the screenplay to move organically, and so with Aavesham, no, I said no, let's try something else. So Jittu came to me with something which is very commercial, and so maybe I've not approached anything like that before. That's the main reason why Aavesham is so new to me.
The way I saw it, you're still within character in the movie. It's not like you're within the character Ranga as well.
Ranga,
yeah. You're
Ranga.
pretty true to that.
At
It's
the
not like
morning.
you're just doing math for the heck of it. It's like a...
Yeah, but it's isn't it very hard to stitch this thing? You have to see every detailing that you've always given for your characters.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's loud.
He
At the
is
same time,
eccentric.
there's love in him. There is concern. There is another side. So
There's a sadness in him.
there's a
Sadness in him, yeah.
So to stitch all that to a character like this, a character who's so loud, I think that was a little challenging to bring in all these elements to someone like that. And I'm not the first person to do that. Mamuka has done it so royally with Rajamanikyam.
Yeah.
The attempt was to remind people of a character played by another hero 20 years back, or I wanted to bring back the excitement of watching an old film.
Yeah.
In screen. Yeah.
And that was what Jitu's...
Absolutely. So, Jitu is a very interesting person to interact with. I think he's a director I took the longest to crack. I think we were to shoot, and so we started with the bar episodes where I made the kids and all that. we're shooting. He's moving on like third, fourth day shoot. I asked him, "Is it falling in place?" He's like, "Yeah, it'll fall." It's not. So it took a long time for us to crack his energy. Ranga's energy, or the way he spoke to the kids. So one example he gave me was he's a center of a circle, and his distance to everyone is the same. He's like, the radius is the same to everyone. So whoever he wants to get closer to, he'll call them inside.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting description that I got. He's the center of the circle, and everyone is on the diameter.
True.
So, and he would call people he wants. So he would call Ambani, he would call the boys, he would call Nanjappa, and everyone is pushed back to the other. So that was a very interesting, this thing he gave me. So, we worked around all that, and I didn't do it alone. Ranga wouldn't be Ranga if Samir Dahir was not there. Sushin Sham was not there. Ashwini
music
was not there. So we all brought him together, I guess.
What is the difference between playing a larger-than-life character like Ranga versus a larger-than-life character in a larger-than-life movie like Pushpa?
Pushpa itself, so the setting is larger than life, right? Aavesham is set in Bangalore.
Yeah.
You see Bangalore, like you land in Bangalore, you know where Aavesham is happening. The Pushpa,
True.
it's set in the 90s, and the geography is set, the characters are set, so everything is set to Pushpa. Aavesham, we've set the film in the right geography, or
Relatable place.
I think the approach is
Relatable place.
different,
Yeah.
and Pushpa can be set anywhere.
Right.
Aavesham cannot be set anywhere.
Right. So you're saying that there you're playing a larger-than-life character in a movie that's larger than life.
Absolutely.
And here you're playing a larger-than-life character in a very normal, regular surrounding.
Regular surrounding, you may say, but that regular surrounding, Aavesham regular surrounding is a little, sort of above the normal Malayalam films. But but the approach is what is different for Pushpa and
Right. So when it comes to again reintroducing you and from your see, there was a phase when according to me, there are two phases of Malayalam cinema in recent times. One is the time the pandemic happened, started, and suddenly people started watching like a lot of films, typically like Your Own, See You Soon, Kumbalangi Nights. All these films kind of broke out of the people that typically watch Malayalam cinema and found a bigger audience outside. And suddenly people were talking about that. And the second big thing is this year, when suddenly like Malayalam cinema has acquired a life of its own. Because in a sense, if you look at it, even last year we had like Mammootty doing Nanpagal Nethumaikam, Kadal, and Kannur.
Kadal was
So
this
all
year,
like
no?
commercial,
No, not 2021,
artistic
2020.
things. Not that the two are.
Kadal, we
separate
loved
anyway.
Kadal.
But you had RDX, which was like a huge hit among the youth, and which I would say was an action version of Premalo, whatever it is. So you did have films last year, but somehow this year the conversation seems to have been about how everything is broken up. What's your take on that?
I'm just analyzing it because having produced Premlu and Aavesham, there is a huge surprise factor with the trade. I mean, everyone has been discussing about it. There's a huge growth of 40 to 50% theatrical revenue and everything. One, primarily, I believe all the films are very good.
That's true. True.
Premlu, Brahmayugam, Aavesham, Varshangal
Adijivitam,
Goat Life.
Surprising because
Absolutely.
you think a movie that's serious,
Absolutely,
you're
absolutely.
doing these kind of numbers
Absolutely.
is amazing. Yeah.
So one is that I think the films were very much inviting to the audience, and all the films were so different from each other.
True.
That's a plus, I think, and
Catering to
audience
different
were keen
tastes.
to
Yeah.
explore that in theaters. Secondly,
Not bored with the same
like I
genre.
said, the trade has grown, but Malayalam cinema even now doesn't have a solid backup of a internet platform, or we need to prove in theaters for any of these things to come in. So it's not like
OTT.
the rest of India, where the films, almost 80% of the films are sold even before the shoot started. Our model is not that. We need to finish the film, release the film, prove the film, and then, so I think that way we are more self-sufficient now, I think, I mean.
Good.
we understand the
Self-sufficient.
importance of
Yeah.
making a film that's different.
And that has to be good.
So I think everyone is on that mode now, Let's make films that, that sort of reach out, and then the rest of whether it's business or the exposure the film get, let that be secondary, but let's try
Let the work do the talking.
Right. So in this new age, let me say, or new era, whatever it is it going to be difficult to make your Maheshita Pradikarams or the Totipatram Dikshashyams, which kind of, where this wonderful mix of, I would say commercial but mainstream and
I was having a chat with my friend yesterday, and I said, do anything in the next 5 years in Malayalam. Do anything. Do a film without dialogues. Do a film without music. Do a film without. Do a black and white film again. So I think
Experimentation.
this is the time to explore everything.
Brahma Yugam
Right?
also totally black and white.
I don't think there's a point where we need to ask, should we not? Just do it. People are ready.
People are
ready. The industry is
True.
ready. Everything is, I think.
It's a great advice.
Go and explore.
Yeah.
Right. And let's not chase the 100 crore thing. I mean, let's do some meaningful films.
something
True.
Absolutely. But is that what you see? Because you're not just an actor, Fahad. You're a hero. There's a difference between the two, because an actor is somebody who comes and does a good job and goes. And
No, he's
a hero
both.
is somebody who
He's
also
both.
has a box office stature. So you have to kind of, do you look at, like, whether when you sign a film, do you also look at, is this going to take me a little higher as a hero?
I look at recovery. I don't see it as I don't see a film as my personal growth or this can get me to the next level. No, I would rather produce a film, and so I get these highs producing films, or So for me, the high is not about me being good in a film. The high is about the film itself being, insanely different in,
Wow.
the wow factor, or so whether it's completely
That's why his movies are
any of the
good.
films that I've eventually acted in as a producer, it's because we couldn't find any other actors. So Kumbalangi Nights was written with another actor, and I mean things never fell in place, and Shyam just
Kumbalangi
turned
Nights
around,
was so
just
good.
come and do it, man. That's how I did it. I want to be known for the films I make, the characters I play.
Right. What I'm saying is
Brilliant
that
line.
also you don't put on yourself the pressure of, not when I say that, like if a film becomes like Aavesham's become a big hit, so that means that you have reinforced the fact that yes, audiences want to see me, like I'm a star. Isn't that important for a so that you get your kind of?
No, I'll reintroduce myself again after a couple of years. No, I don't do an Aavesham.
We are ready for that, Fafa.
I'm not sure.
Love for Fafa.
Totally different film. A boy meets girl kind of a. So Aavesham will never decide what I do next. Yeah.
Right.
That's
One
good.
of my favorite films of your last maybe 5 years is Trance. Because I like these films that take a big swing, I have a crazy premise, I'm just going to go all out with it, and you're there, you're fully committed. Do you think today, had that film been made, maybe the audience should have come on board a little more?
I have my reservations on dealing with religion in Kerala. I don't think
that works.
No, I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think people would want to hear the harsh reality, if I may say.
He must be an atheist.
What Trans lacked after a point was that entertainment factor.
Oh,
there was a lot of awareness and things like that, but the entertainment factor was taken away from the film at some point. And that's
We are
where
yet
I
to
think
watch
it-
Trance.
Having said that, I mean, a corrected second half Trans would still make a lot of difference, but I wouldn't touch religion for a while in Kerala.
Right.
Wouldn't touch
Now, in a
religion.
recent interview, you said, I'm a better producer than I am an actor. What is that?
I have so many limitations as an actor. So
Okay.
many limitations. I have to keep asking my DOP, what's the lens? How close are we? How far are we? So there's so many things I
But
can't.
other actors do that too.
Yeah, but I think an actor shouldn't do that. I've never seen Mounties or Mollahs are doing that, even my father says that, the moment you learn your lines and you're in front of the camera, you shouldn't be worrying about who's capturing you, what's been captured, or how you've been captured. So I'm very conscious that way. I ask my costumer, is it fitting well? So I keep discovering that there's so many limitations. I'm depending on so many people to get this right. As a producer, it's not like that. I give people immense freedom to explore, and I like that. When a person like Dinesh Potan or Sham is given absolute freedom to explore, it's totally different than staying in and controlling and doing a film, right?
True.
So,
Same with
as a
YouTube
producer, I
also.
don't have any limitations. I'm willing to explore any which way, right? But I have to be very cautious about the kind of films I act in.
When you're saying that, are you saying you're not a very comfortable actor?
No, I am an actor because I didn't find any other job.
Huh? What? What? He's so modest, yeah. Kuch bhi. Yeah.
I didn't do it alone, right?
Yeah.
So it's so many other people,
But
and
films are a collaborative medium. Fahad,
Yeah.
no directors can say I did it alone. No.
Yeah, true.
I keep telling everyone, So, can you ask Anwar Rashid to do a scene of trance with another actor? I'm sure he'll produce the same intensity because I know Anwar. How I went to Anwar and how Anwar got things out of me, I'm very I'm very aware of that. So I think he does that magic with any actor. So I don't know, it doesn't go to my head that.
I'm not saying it should go to your head, but I'm just saying that you must be aware that you're capable of executing a certain kind of. Let me talk about that.
True.
Like,
That of course Salman
like
Khan can't do.
Scenes in Aavesham, right? Now it starts off as fun, but then there's a very crucial aspect of yours that what was very striking for me was the intensity that you maintain, both because you are getting exasperated, something in you wants to burst out. But
What
you
was
want
the
to
movie?
keep
Salam
fun
Bombay or
going.
something, right?
But
Something
then
with
fun
Bombay, that
after
Damsharat
the
scene.
Frustration, you're almost like feeling like you want to kill somebody.
BB was so scared.
Scared.
Wonderful scene.
Yeah.
But tell me how. But are you going to say again that it was all
The
Jitu
tension.
See, the intention of the scene was given to you, right? I mean, even during the first narration, the scene was there. So the purpose of the scene was clearly told to you. So the only thing I asked was to what extent can I pull it? Like, how far can I take it? What Jitu told me is just take it to the max. Just take it till one of the actors sort of, break down or laugh out or, So that, I mean, when he said that, we all knew that, okay, fine, we had to play this in a way that there's so much more drama than what we actually, what he's actually written.
Yeah.
So when you have
elevating it.
you know, description like that, it's easy to. So what if Jatu had written? This has to be very controlled. Ranga has to be sitting. Ranga shouldn't be moving. Ranga has to sit in one chair and do this. Then this whole thing would be so difficult. So, like again, the stage was set. He said, you know, just do it. Just do it. See, it's just not enough that I understand the scene. Everyone in that frame needs to understand it.
Definitely,
I mean,
definitely. But what goes into your understanding of the scene? You obviously read what the script is, and then you have your talk with your director, and then what happens to you? Is what do you
See, I wanted the boys to get scared.
okay?
But at the same time, at the end of the
They
thing, I
did
wanted
get
the
scared.
audience to laugh. Right?
Yeah.
I wanted these two
nice.
meeting points.
Hmm.
In that scene, my connect to the audience was these 2 points, right? And I think we try to crack that, I think.
Right, and that's
And you
something
did
that
it
you
great.
say that this is what I want.
Yeah, I mean, I played around, so, you know, and they'll pick up, you know, so at some point Jitu will say, oh, this is the one, yeah, let's do that. Right. I don't go to sets with a definite pattern. I keep telling them, you know, let's try this. So in fact, I'm shooting Pushpa. Susa is like, so what do you want to do? I say, I don't know. Yeah, even I don't know. So you do 3, 4. We'll decide.
Yeah,
So I find it. So when you go to buy something at a shop, whatever is that you want to buy, you don't buy the first thing you see, right? You get options. So I mean, I think that's very important for a scene as well. You see multiple variations, and you know, then you
Just like we do with thumbnails in YouTube.
it very constantly happens, and I'm a person who goes back to reshoot the first day work and all that. So it's primarily because there's a meter I try to crack, right? And that's very important. That meter needs to align with the other actors as well, right? And it's just not easy to just get there, right?
From day one,
With the
yeah.
scene, what I'm trying to, you would have seen this variation of Ranga and another scene also.
Yeah. It's not coming up. Just
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So I mean,
Yeah. So the reason you say that sometimes you go back and reshoot things that you've done on the first day shoot, maybe three weeks later, is that because after that first day shoot and maybe during, let's say, the second week or something, that's when you crack the meter?
Yeah.
So you want that earlier scene also to be
redone. Yes.
Okay.
I have evidently seen that I understand the character much better after after 3 weeks of shoot than
after enacting or
after
embodying
playing
that.
around and and
Experimenting.
I always get this clarity after playing around with other actors. Nyan Prakashan. I went to Satyan and I said I want to reshoot one.
This was
one
the movie
scene.
where I loved him.
He said, why?
I fall in
It's only
love
when I did a scene with Srinivasan and I understood, this has to be the meter. So that always happens. And Aavesham also, I mean, all my films are reshot. So, right.
By now,
And surprisingly, I did an audition for a foreign production house. I'm not using any names. So this is the first time ever I did an audition. And they gave me a scene, and I don't know, I mean, very sweet people, all of them, very sweet. And
Hollywood.
so I got a scene, and
Is it something
I don't know
cooking?
anything before the scene or after the scene. I know a big actor is doing that scene, and the scene is with me, or I have to do that scene with him. And that's when I realized that even my closest friend cannot crack me with just a scene. Like, he comes and gives me a scene, I will not be able to crack anything. I have to evolve. Like, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but this is my method, and I'm happy with this method.
no, fair enough. Because see, you indirectly gave. I was going to ask you what your general process in approaching a thing is, and basically you're saying that I have to live with that character for a while,
Absolutely.
in front of the camera,
Yeah.
and once I live with that character for a while, I slowly start finding the little things
The
that-
nuances.
for
Even
example, that
Nazria
And
mentioned that in an
See,
interview.
More
That
than me finding it, I let others see it. That's easier for me to judge,
Right.
So, because I'm not a person who goes with a script.
Show, then
I
tell.
go with capturing. Right. Like, I believe the most beautiful thing about filmmaking is capturing. Right.
True.
It's a slightly hard process, but it's fun. It's
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not one of those people who romanticizes acting and all that.
No.
It's a job.
Absolutely.
Now, you haven't worked with
He's so
Mammootty model,
honest.
So I have to ask you this with veterans from another language. You worked with Kamal Hassan, you worked with Rajni.
I worked with Mammootty, sir.
You worked with Mammootty?
Emmanuel.
Oh, long back.
Yeah.
So when you watch Kamal Hassan act, Mammootty, Mohanlal act, Rajnikant act now, as an actor, what is it do you think they bring to their scenes? Are you able to kind of look at them as not just a fan but as an actor?
When I see each of them perform individually, it's not that I don't get their process or the method, but I understand how they are so sincere in front of camera. Like they're very honest in front of camera.
How?
And that's because they purely believe everyone is equal in front of camera.
Oh,
Whether it's Reggie sir or
okay.
Kamal sir or Mamukka sir. I mean, they come and they explore the scene, they ask the other actors. So there is a
Very humble and grounded
discussion which actually makes you feel, okay, we all are the same here. And that eases out a lot of things.
SRK also has that quality. We've heard in an
Even
interview.
Amitabh
I'm sure
Bachchan
Lal sir
also he
that.
has.
Or, I mean, the other stars stars in Telugu or Bombay will also have that. But
Yeah,
my
SRK.
situation was a little different when I met them. Or when I first worked with Mamukka, I think I had already done Diamond Necklace and Anayam Rasoolum. So we were at a point where he wanted to discuss and he wanted to know, my process and all that. By the time I met Kamal sir, I'd done See You Soon and Rajni sir, I keep asking, sir, have you seen any of my films? No, I don't want to see your films. I know.
He's not seen any of your films.
He's seen Vikram and Maman and all that.
Vikram
Yeah,
to.
but,
Oh,
Not the films that made you. Yeah.
No, but I think he's heard about me, I guess. But regardless, for me, it's just absolutely brilliant. Just seeing them learn a line and deliver it. So when they do that, for me, it's it's the history of cinema that runs through me. But as we said, he stands there and does this and all that. For me, it's so unreal for me.
being a fan.
I'm tripping on all that. Then what I'm discovering or learning. For me, it's the witnessing all this itself is a right.
But you're also saying that in a way, it comes
Someday
back
I
to
will
your
say
own
same
philosophy
thing about Fahad.
that they're also collaborative actors and
Absolutely. See, the intention of me going there is not to do a Basha or a Tevarmagan or anything. It's pure talent collaboration. Just want to go there and interact with them and talk to them. And I'm very fortunate that I have that relation with all of them now. Like I just go to them and ask them, so how do you shoot the sequence in Tevarmagan or Nayagan? And he'll have an answer. So that was what I wanted always. Absolute talent collaboration where I can go discuss my stuff, they can come discuss their stuff, and that's happening. That's very clearly happening.
right. But what you call talent collaboration, there are certain websites, especially in the Malayalam industry, that kind of keep raising this question. Why is Fahad going and acting in like relatively supporting roles in languages in other language films? And like how do you answer that? Well, like why can't he come and act in Malayalam films in bigger roles? Is what their question is. Their anguish, I think. I don't know.
So I don't work on timelines. I have no sense of timelines. I never finish things on time. I never start things on time. Like all that, there's no plan for all this. I'm just doing things that I'm excited about. And evidently, I tell my audience, my commitment to them is just, I'll try and make the film watchable. I don't want them to think about me otherwise. I don't want them to think worry about what I'm doing with my life. Just don't take me seriously when you leave theatres.
But we
just
do.
think about me in the theatre, that's all.
No, we do think outside of theatre
I
also.
don't want people to,
That's why we're watching this interview.
Yeah.
on the dining table, let them just discuss in the theatre or maybe on the way back home. That drive, Not more than that. Cinema is not beyond that,
Shit,
Cinema
our
has-
job is over. Then.
That's not how a cinephile operates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what I want to change, It's what, I'm not saying I want to change, but there's more that you can do with your life than watching,
No, definitely. See, the thing
Oh
is.
shit, burned. Burned. We are burning in hell.
क्या फहाद दिल तोड़ दिया.
Right? Most people have music, for instance. Like,
No, but
cricket
cricket
does
does-
just about music.
Cricket does 20 times of what cinema does.
You mean in terms of money?
everything.
Yeah.
Cricket does 20 times of what cinema
Right,
does.
but the point is, if something obsesses you, you end up talking about this batsman's,
Yeah.
strokes or
Yeah.
play, the way he approaches a shot, the way
Absolutely.
he did that in the previous
Absolutely.
game.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not. So I'm saying that for me, the way you acted in Aavesham versus the way you approached the role in Pushpa, the similar larger than life. So that's. I don't think it's a waste of time.
He's offended. He's offended.
His work is about
Till I do
movies.
next film. Not till I do my,
Right, but because you are a constantly evolving actor, and the films are also constantly evolving because audiences change, new
He's
directors come
offended.
in,
He's
they bring
offended.
in new blood. It's fascinating to look at things in a continuum rather than just that particular. Fahadh Aavesham, it's a hit. Let's move on. It's not that.
It sounds more beautiful, right? He did Aavesham, done. Now let him come with something else. Why think about him,
I think we need to have a long conversation with this after.
No, I think Amar does this. I mean, at least Amar used to do that in 2000s and all that. He would disappear after Lagan and Dil Chahta Hai and come with a Mangal Pandey, again disappear and come back with, So I think
Amir Khan.
Dilip sir does that. Dilip Kumar Saab used to do that. I like that.
You like that?
I like that. I don't want anyone to talk about me or celebrate me or anything. Just watch my films, and that too only if it's good. And if it's not good, don't watch it. I'm very clear about that.
He's very modest, yeah.
Say that. You accept films because it gives you the chance to do something that's new, right? But with films, some films like
Look
Aavesham,
at
for
it
instance, do you also
as a
have a
work.
gut feeling that I think this film is really going to break out? I think this film is going to become like quite a big hit. Does that happen?
I had that with Kumlangi.
Okay.
I had that with Kumlangi, I had that with Bharatan. In fact, I had with Trans, but I was wrong. But with Trans, I thought, that's what, with religion, you shouldn't take religion or any such thing as a setting for a film. It can only be a
But
factor.
you've also had movies like Ayurveda Pustakam, I think, which kind of looked at Job's story through
Yeah. But there was no religion or anything. I mean...
even in the movie.
In the film.
Yeah,
in the
okay,
film.
okay.
Yeah.
So religion is the turn
I
of point.
generally have that. I had that with Nyan Prakash. And, like I
Yeah,
said,
Nyan
the
Prakash.
artistic side is there. The other side is more active. Like I spoke about the recovery and all that. Right. So I'm very active that way. I'm very sharp with numbers. So I'm very conscious that way. I'm worried about the recoveries, the costing and everything.
Right.
So
He's a
I'm
producer
involved in
after
that.
Right. So supposing
That's why
you
he's a
are
better producer, he says.
producing, let's say a movie with, forget Aavesham because that gives you a gut feeling, but let's say you're producing a movie that you're like, okay, I like this movie, but I'm not so sure, then you'll work accordingly so that the costs are manageable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you name a movie that you did that way?
Malayan Gunjan?
Malayan Kunyan? I was
Malayan
going to just
Kunyan.
say that. Yeah.
Very, I mean...
That flood wala movie?
Everyone was there, but the
Oh, we
scale
watched
of
it.
film- Yeah, scale of the film. Also, it's not a easy film to watch, It's not very easy. A lot of people complain of claustrophobia and things like that. So, yeah, so such models, we prepare ourselves,
Right. There have been a bunch of Malayalam film directors that I like a lot, and I cannot name now, but you know a lot of them, and you worked with a lot of them, that have come to me and said, not come to me as in when I met them at festivals and other things, they all say that they all want to make a certain kind of movie, but the market's kind of pushing them to make a slightly different kind of movie. And I go back to the word that you said early on, which is entertaining. As long as something is entertaining, it's being consumed by the audience. Has entertainment in some way become a must? And if so, how do you define entertainment? For example,
That's a brilliant
let's take
question.
Anajivitam.
Brilliant question.
Big blockbuster. How would you define the word entertainment with respect to that?
That's a
Because in
great
way,
question.
The survival aspect mirrors that of Malayan Kunyan. The scale is different. All that is different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you look at the basic story of...
So,
Great question.
I think by entertaining, isn't it just good enough that you hijack the audience? Even if it's just for a scene, if you can just totally get them into the film.
Okay.
For me, that's entertainment. You can't have the audience with you throughout the 2 hour, 30 minutes running time or anything. But wherever you can actually, you make the film like that, right? With the hope that end of this act, audience are going to get locked in. End of this act, there's a relief point for them. And again, they'll get in. So,
Okay.
when you plan a
True businessman, yeah.
screenplay, these moments are there.
Hooks.
And while you're shooting it, for me,
It's very technical.
it's about, okay, let's see the possibility of this moment. Let's see how much can we connect to the audience, right? Whether it's RT Jeevitham or Maluti or Maleni or Manual Boys, I think the entertainment factor was that audience at some point getting locked into it, right?
Yeah.
And that identity, and that needs to be built on, you know, that has to go on to emotional level. That has, you know, if need be, that has to go on to a revenge level, or you know, I mean, it depends on the story that you're narrating. But the basic entertainment is to actually lock in the audience with your main act at some point, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's an interesting definition, because typically when people say entertainment, they mean you laugh, you cry.
Dopamine hits.
That's what I've read. I think so. Manisha in one of the interviews said music brings
Mani
a lot of
Ratnam.
relief. So that is also a factor. Maybe like I said, or that connect you on with the audience is a relief point, right? So the music can be one of the aspects. So different directors use different tricks for this.
Correct.
There are directors who just use a dissolve and hold a black screen for 2 seconds, right? You know, so different people have different methods to practice.
I never thought that about the black
But
screen.
these are the moments. I mean, you should know about
Transition.
Start your film where you're actually trying to bring in the audience and you know just lock them totally, right? So
That's
I mean,
great.
you discover these points and then
It's
sort
easy.
Right. So by like in these many years of acting in movies, being part of movies as producers, being a director's son, all that, seeing all that, do you think now you have a fair idea of what entertainment is and how to lock an audience?
Of course it does.
So the thing about what still, I still have to look at a mirror before I give a shot. I still have to ask my costume guy. And there are boys who do this so easily in front of a selfie cam. They don't care. They're so organically they're doing it. They go around. They show things, and I don't know how they do that. You know, so it's changing in a pace that's difficult for us to catch up with. I mean, when I say this, I'm sure writers are experiencing this, or the musicians are experiencing this.
YouTubers also.
The world of the society is evolving in a pace
Including
where
yours.
catching up is hard, but there is so much to reflect on, or you know, there's so much to discuss in this, you know, because there's so much change happening. Right? There's so much to discuss. Right? So I think we'll go entirely. I think, you know.
So when you were on the sets of Aavesham and the 3 boys are there who are all like YouTube, that generation, right?
Stars, yeah.
Did you see that difference?
Absolutely. I mean, so one time we were shooting next to a school, and I was in the vanity. I was called for the shot, and suddenly they came in and said, "No, don't come. The school just left." I said, "Yeah." So, but you know, I'm sitting in the vanity, so what's a big deal? So, hipster. Apparently, he's so popular with the younger crowd, and that too, it was not it was Bangalore, not Malayali kids. Kids came in, they stood just to see him, say hi to him, just wave at him. So everyone is a star in their own way, and you know, and I always tell people, you know,
One day, अपना time भी आएगा.
They're not bothered about the camera. They're not bothered about the lens. They're not conscious, like, you know, because they've been seeing and involving with this for a long time. It doesn't matter to them, right? How they're captured, and I see that with a lot of talents now. I mean, Aavesham also. These boys, I've never seen them going and asking where's the camera or what is the lens, or even when I run to the monitor after every shot, they're not bothered. They're just there, you know. And I think that's very fortunate that
They're chill.
not worry about anything else. I think that's magical.
But that might make your life a little easier, no? If you could.
If I can do that, if I can give a shot and not be worried about how it is, that's a dream. I'll quit after that.
So would you
Don't quit, Fafa.
a bit of a control freak in you that wants things to be a certain way?
I'm a bit of OCD.
Oh, he has OCD.
That's there. Right. A lot of people find it hard, but so now you found your way, right? You know, so
Right. But are there directors who came and say, "Okay, Fahad, I know you want this take, but I'm going to stick with my decision of this take because for me that works."
every director showed me that.
Okay.
Everyone has a different way of saying this.
Different way of saying.
Madhavan, maybe he'll say, no, it's okay. I like that. Let's go with that. Anwar would say, I got what I wanted. Now if you want to explore, we'll explore. So everyone has a different way of saying that. Anish has a different way of saying it. So, yeah, so...
Nobody listens to him, bechara.
In Aavesham itself,
He's so true
was
to
there
himself.
maybe
No?
one scene that you say was the most difficult thing to play?
Interesting.
Because
We've
it
seen
involved a
Aavesham.
lot of Physical. There were these singles shot, single take things.
Yeah.
So Aavesham itself had a lot of difficult... So, sometimes we'd wonder, this guy needs to be funny or does he needs to look...
Menacing.
more...
Scary.
Does he have to be a hero kind of a guy? Does he have to be a villain? So this was he could be anything. And it was important for us to choose on a flavor and play around with it. So it was very difficult. So now we have to do a part 2, it's easy. But now, to get into to give him a structure with all these emotional, all the dark side of his past or his innocence or his foolishness, to package everything into that form was a little difficult, but now, it'll be a cakewalk if we have to do a...
Part 2.
Right, but...
Please do a part 2.
Just to take
Please,
us
please,
through
we
it,
need
is there
Ranga's
one
story.
point which you can just remember offhand where you kind of found
Please
it
do
difficult
part 2.
to get into that scene or mode or zone or...
So the mother's thing, so there was a sequence, in the climax where I cried. So this was shot 3 different timelines.
Yeah.
Because I looked, 3 different looks. It's a single shot, but it had to be shot in 3 different timelines.
Yeah.
So every shot...
The
had to
transition
have
was so
that,
good.
Yeah.
intensity of this man being alone. His mother left him, or his brother he trusted left him, or the boys he trusted left him. For me, it was very, very difficult to get that aspect that this man is alone. This man
And he
is
did
alone.
it really well.
And he's never been alone in the film, right? There are 3 scenes where you see him alone. One, he's dancing after his shower or getting ready. You see him sitting and eating. Then there's a sequence where Bibi calls him. These are the only 3 scenes in Aavesham you see him alone. Yeah. Otherwise, he's never alone.
Gang, full gang.
Yeah.
To make audience believe that he's alone with a shot was very difficult. That matching that aspect was a little difficult.
Across those 3...
I asked him for a scene from the past. I said, don't you think a scene with his mother would make a lot more impact than a shot like this? And he said, it's so easy. Anyone can do that. Actually, that's true.
That's true, yeah, that's true.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
And he just sat in front of me and said, flashback, anyone can do that, right?
Yeah.
And he has a point there. That's how
Wow, we did not
You have
pay
to do
attention to
flashback
that,
in
but
your-
this is so
in a
interesting.
shot. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's...
Now that you've
Interesting.
discovered you don't like talking about films, what are some of your favorite Indian or international films in the sense of
That's again a
one of
good
the
question.
films that have made Fahad go, I would love to be a part of something like this.
You are in love with
Cinema
Rangarajan.
Okay.
It changed my
Cinema
life.
Paradiso.
It changed your life.
It changed my life.
Yeah.
I still wish to give the audience who watch my film what I felt watching Cinema Paradiso. And
You feel you haven't done that?
oh no, not anywhere close to. I have not changed anyone's life. Cinema Paradiso changed my life.
But how can you say that, Fahad? The other person has to say that.
That's true.
I've not met anyone.
Fahad, meet us. Meet us.
Meet us.
Fahad, do an interview with us.
So I'm talking about the impact a film did to me. Also, Amos Perot's
Oh,
a lot of films.
love that film. There's like 3 different stories coming together.
Did to me,
Amores Paris.
Before I-
Love it.
I just but at least
Love that film. I've recommended it to so many people.
experience to the audience.
Right. Do you have any plans to direct films?
I can't direct.
You can't.
I can't.
Again, is it the OCD thing or?
I can't direct. I'm not.
But how do you know that?
Sham says that I can write, but he's never offered a film or anything.
But
Not
acting is a
evidently.
form of writing.
Yeah, that's all. So sometimes you write and you give them your draft, and so it's not evidently right, but yeah.
So, thank you for being here.
Oh, is it over?
A difficult time with this interview.
2 minutes more.
I have a difficult time.
What does it feel like when you always run into articles or people talking about Fahadh Faasil's eyes?
Ah, his
I
eyes.
had my mother's eyes,
Yeah.
and no one saw it till I was 30 years, I think. For me, you know, what is that they see that no one else saw for the first 30 years of my life? No one spoke about it in school or college or, you know. I think it's thanks to whoever invented Harry, you know, and it's the lenses and the camera and the shift to digital cinema that's helped me, I guess.
But thank you for your time, Fahad.
He's very
and,
modest, yeah.
Looking forward to your big lineup
But I
this
think
year.
everyone
You have,
should be like that.
Pushpa 2
Yeah.
with Allu Arjun. You have
If you take
Vettayam
yourself
with,
very seriously.
Rajnikant. You have
And I have
Vikram
a
too?
beautiful small film with Altaf Salim.
oh, that's the one that you want.
I'm gonna start-
You're
I'm
kind of
gonna
start
start shooting that.
That's going to be out this year as well.
We're trying end of the year, but yeah.
Okay.
I also have a very cute film with Vadivel sir that I'm doing in Tamil.
Okay.
Tamil.
That's also this year. Wow, that's a busy year.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm almost
How about Vikram too?
done with those films. I hardly have another schedule, but all fun films. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
Thank you,
happy.
man.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I really wish one day you and I take Fahadh Faasil's interview. So if you
We
guys
don't
want
like
to,
interview, but
we'll make him comfortable and we'll request him. So guys,
He's
if you
so-
want
he's so
to
sweet.
support us, please share our videos to more of your friends and ask them to subscribe and like our videos. Because we are huge Malayalam cinema fans. We love cinema in general. So we'd love that one day. And we watched Aavesham
we
also.
live for movies. Actually.
Yeah, we do live for movies.
Cinema.
We have a very interesting review coming up for Aavesham, so do stay tuned for that. And also you can check out our Aavesham Song Reactions, trailer reactions and other reactions on our channel too. So this is the first time we reacted to an interview. Do let us know if you liked it. We would definitely be doing more if you guys liked it. You can also drop your recommendations of any other conversation or interview or podcast that we should react to or check out. So yes, do check that out. And as we always say,
For the love of movies, please like, share, subscribe to
Filmosophy. Bye.
See you soon.